to serve as a counterforce.
Yes.
To serve as our first line of defense.
Yes.
No? We are not doing that to go to war.
Yes.
We are there to just protect our interests. But even in the production or acquisition of white vessels, we haven't taken the initiative. In fact, Japan, after donating 12 vessels that has to be carried out over the next few years, after that initial salvo, the Philippine government has not done anything. You know? And that's terribly upsetting because it's like we're giving up the West Philippine Sea by default. No? And for what? For what reason?
Why aren't we fixing the Sierra Madre?
Good question. I don't know.
Why don't we ditch another ship there?
Yeah, it's very frustrating for a citizen to see all of these things happening before our very eyes, and to see that our government is not really lifting anything, lifting a finger.
Okay.
In fact, if you talk to many of our government officials, the West Philippine Sea and China is the farthest from their minds. And you can see that from the way the Chinese are operating across the country, for example, in the mining sector. I mean, they're just running wild there,
Yes.
Extracting our mineral resources and even smuggling it out of the country.
And a lot of smuggled Chinese goods coming into the country.
A lot of smuggled Chinese goods, and not just Chinese goods, but humans, the human traffic.
Yes.
Working illegally here, for example, in the construction industry.
Yes.
And they've taken over strategic industries like the grid.
Yes.
In
In fact, our balance of trade favors them instead of us.
They've made inroads. They've made inroads into our telecommunication sector.
Yes.
Into our shipping sector. But I don't understand why this hasn't.
We're allowing ourselves to be vulnerable. That's what you're saying.
It's like we're dealing with a government that's asleep, and yet they're being paid a salary to work.
You're saying the lights are on, but nobody's home.
Either there's nobody home, or they just don't get it. No.
Why aren't we at least buying missiles and putting it in Palawan?
Well, probably that is in the works.
Okay, hopefully.
Probably that's in the shopping list.
Okay.
But it's in the implementation of the plan that leaves much to be desired, because one of your signposts is the funding. There's no funding. So even if there's a list, what good is that list if there's no funding?
But at least we can go on the record that Secretary Rafael Alunan is for missiles in Palawan.
Well, those are details. But let's put it this way: I am for credible deterrence.
Okay.
And we're looking at a total approach from the standpoint of our civilian forces to our armed forces, and including our police forces as far as internal security is concerned.
Okay. That wraps up a great interview. We always enjoy having Secretary Rafael Alunan here. It's very hard to look for sensible people nowadays. I think he's one talent that should be in government, but well, you know how it is. Marami pong salamat, Mr. Secretary.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure.
You really put me to work.
Marami pong salamat. Ito po si Eric Espina, palagi po nagsasabi sa inyo, magmasid, makialam, higit sa lahat ay manindigan. Dahil wala pong magmamahal sa Pilipino kung hindi ang Pilipino. Daghang salamat, maayong gabi kaninyong tanan.
Ayun.